If you can prove gravity exists, then maybe I might believe in satellites. I need to be taken up there and see all of these satellites that's in the sky. As a matter of fact, I'm looking out the window right now at at a cloudy sky. It's a little bit of chemtrail stuff up there. But I'm looking out the window and I see this blue breaking through the clouds. And I don't see any satellites up there at all.
You're going to give us proof of dragons? Is that what I'm getting? What I'm hearing?
Yeah, absolutely. Fossilized dragons on the surface, and a 1,000-mile-long dragon laying horizontally across Morocco.
That one.
And this thing is attacking a fish of equal proportions, and I could take you on a tour of its anatomy.
So go ahead, take us on this tour.
This is what Roger from Mud Fossil found, and this is a dragon. If you want to pause it at any point, like right there, you're looking at the side profile of a cross section of a dragon right there, looking like a donkey face. You can see its teeth, you can see its lips, you can see the curl of its nose, and this is how our land was distributed, and it's like when I zoom out, you'll see more. It'll to me it looks like organs and splayed out muscle tissue, and it's like it's an unrolled dragon. The skin and scales and cross section of a dragon.
What? That's another dragon, or is that the same dragon?
No, it's all the same dragon. It's all the same entity, and it's cut into cross sections, and it's like the land masses were rolled up or folded up, and they were unrolled or unraveled to find their present situation.
That's what they call the eye of the Sahara, correct?
That is correct, because it's literally an eye. That is a fish. You're looking at the inside of a fish eye. This thing was attached, and it's got a chunk of skin that it's with that folds back up with the body.
Number one, how long ago did it exist? Number two, why is its remains just left out there? And why doesn't everyone go and visit the remains of the world's only known dragon?
Because it's so massive that people walk over it and don't even realize it. Its eye would be as big as a small downtown area. It's massive. It's 1,000 miles long. So it is the mountains. It is the land. And it's not only that. There's another dragon that I discovered that's in South America. That's the South American serpent. Okay, this thing, South America was sandwiched on top of North America, and there's an imprint of this serpent in the Grand Canyon. If you think about it, a snake is very minimal. It can do a lot with a little. It doesn't require much water, much food, but it's a calculated killing machine. They can move fast, and contained within the cross sections of a dragon lies the spectrum of life.
I still don't have a freaking 1,000 subscribers. What the hell's going on? I'm the only one here. The only damn one that's been here online for 3 years, and I don't even have 1,000 subscribers. What the freaking hell is going on here? I've been making hundreds of detailed videos for 3 years. 3 years, and I don't even have 1,000 subscribers. I'm at it for 3 years! 3 years, and I don't even have 1,000 subscribers! What the fuck is going on? It makes me feel like I'm a parasite, wasting my time, while everybody builds up their intolerance and hatred of me, while they're trying to maneuver me in a position where they can just execute me. That's what I freaking feel here! me to get pissed off to get those 1,000 subscribers, I will. No! I will not focus on beautiful things!
So if you want to defend the globe and claim that you stand for genuine scientific inquiry, then do some bloody science. If you're going to just carry on making accusations against flat earth researchers, people who want to really explore where we are, why we're here, how we got here, then it's pathetic. It really is pathetic that grown men will make so many excuses for the pseudoscience used to prop up the globe earth belief.
This is how slow it would be spinning. I mean, slower. Way slower even. Hold on. You know, this would be more representative to what they say it should be if I were to pour this water on there now. But like I just showed you, this is nowhere the rim velocity of what the true equator of Earth is in miles per hour. In order to reach that same force or rim velocity, the maximum I can get to is 107, what we came up with miles per hour.
Anyone who looks into how the globe earth model has been created can quickly realize that it's a whole bunch of assumptions and explanations based on some very loosely founded assumptions in the first place.
I'm going to set this globe to rotate, and we will pour some water. Let's see if, according to the Bible, that the flood covered the whole earth, if we can reproduce this event on this Copernican model. Okay, I have here some water, and let's get started. I'm gonna bring the camera a little bit closer to the globe so you can see by yourself if this can be done or not. As we see here, we have poured some water, but it's not really working the way described on the Bible, where the water is stuck through the whole earth.
Here we go, ready? And hopefully the ball stays on. Okay, so I'm going to show you. This is only halfway up. The dial is only halfway up, okay? Here we go, you ready? Here's the water. See how it hasn't even covered half the ball?
Let's try again one more time. Let's use a little bit more water. Let's see if it works now. Second time. Let's see if it works now. Alright, as we predicted, no water accumulated over the face of this globe Earth. It's a little bit wet, of course, but nothing that really accumulated or could cover the continents. 30,000 feet, as this, described on the Bible.
We're at a stage now where there is much better potential to find out more about where we are, why we're here, and try to answer some of those fundamental questions that have never, ever, ever been answered.
One thing people really need to keep in mind is these were built in the mid to late 1800s, and the car hadn't even been brought out yet. So there was no heavy machinery, no heavy equipment. Can you imagine what it would have taken to actually build this
logistical
stuff without
nightmare.
Yeah.
Get all the stone
like
there. In muddy roads.
The doorways don't make sense to me. For people, we have our doorways at 6 feet 6 inches as a threshold. And then you have it larger on the exteriors, to move furniture, equipment, whatever. But in these buildings, I'm finding these doorways with the higher thresholds go all the way through the interiors and on the second floor and on the third floor. And every portal in the building has these extreme dimensions that don't really match up to what we would build today, almost.
It could be for aesthetics, though. I mean, because like you said, it is Roman architecture, and that that shows that you're there to stay. It's like, I don't know, it makes a statement with that architecture. And I've heard theories as bizarre as well. It's because they used to be giants, or they're making the doors so when the giants come.
Yeah, but one thing I want to point out, John, is Roman architecture, for all we know, going back 2 centuries or 2,000 years or before, the Romans at that time could very well have been these giants, because I have to remind everybody that one thing that has been absolutely hidden from history, and there's a lot of pictures and photographs of these skeletons that are being dug up that go 10, 20, 35 feet high. And, there are actually photographs from the 1800s, shortly after the advent of the camera, where there are people that are kind of posing with these really huge giant people. With the amount of skeletal remains that is actually being recovered, and archaeologists have, all but covered up, I think that this speaks a lot to the idea that there really were giants and there really were these larger people back in those times.
Right. There definitely were. Let's not forget to point out how easy it is to get giants out of, lots of different species, and presumably people as well. If you just simply raise the barometric pressure, raise the oxygen content, and increase the magnetic field of the area, those 3 things appear to create the giants.
Of course, there's also the biblical narrative about giants as well. So, I mean, it would be foolish to completely discount that possibility. And in fact, I think it's very likely that these giants did indeed exist, as well as other people.
How can you put giants as a possibility and not dinosaurs?
We have we have photographic evidence.
It doesn't mean it's true.
It doesn't mean it's false either, Curtis.
Well, you say it's true. First of all, what evidence did you show that giants are actually true?
What do you think we were looking at when we were showing all those pictures? The bones that have been recovered?
Where are they located? Where are these bones located?
Michael Cremo, okay? That is the forbidden archaeologist. He holds a PhD, Curtis. You hold nothing, okay?
A PhD gives justification for giants.
A PhD is evidence. It's evidence for giants.
A PhD gives you justification to say something's true.
Oh, give me a freaking break.
Then you're going to come in and make a false claim that someone who has a PhD proved that giants exist.
Okay, Curtis, what evidence do you have? What evidence do you have that they don't? What evidence do you have that they don't, Mr. No degree whatsoever?
I don't have to prove a negative, Bob. You're promoting bullshit.
You're promoting bullshit.
You're talking about giants are real based on the Bible. You're a fucking shield.
No, I'm not saying they're real.
You're trying to water down the flat earth movement, and I'm not going to let you.
Well, you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot, okay?
You're a fucking idiot, and you're a shill. And you know you are.
Wah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
You shut up, you fucking fat retard.
Shut up.
Then on top of that, you did that shitty ass documentary Behind the Curve that makes us look even more crazy. This is how they destroy movements.
Okay.
This is how they do it. People like you are compromised. So the earth is moving, Bob. Is that yes or no?
No, it's not.
Why did you tell the people that the earth was moving, Bob?
I didn't, you dumb jackass. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You just admitted it.
All right, you know what, Daryl? I'm out of here. If you don't eject,
bye, Bob.
I am not
Bye,
going
Bob.
to continue this.
Yeah,
bye, Bob.
yeah, we're gonna
Bye,
have to
Bob.
go ahead and cut this stream, and I think I might
Bye,
go ahead
Bob.
and delete it and everything because this
Don't
is
worry,
going
Bob.
all kinds of off the rails.
The moon is about 7 miles high. Okay, try to get on a plane and fly to the moon. You should be able to get there because the clouds, you can fly above the clouds, right? So you should be able to actually fly right up to the moon.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
Why aren't people taking flat Earth seriously? You know what I'm saying? Because of the media. Because of the general media that the public sees. And just nonsense. Because they think if somebody believes in a flat Earth, that we believe that Earth is a disk floating in space and everything else is round. You know, these are what the scientists say to people. And this is what distracts people. You know, they're not comprehending the true facts. No, flat earthers do not believe we're a fucking disk floating in space. As a matter of fact, we are the universe right here. Heaven is upon earth, okay? All right? It's all here, contained in a nice little package.
That depiction of Earth in the Bible would make sense if they're using nautical miles to measure shit in space. So maybe space is underwater. Who knows?
All the images of the ISS, every single video, you never, ever, ever see a satellite go past them. That's not possible. Okay. Now, I know they give you all these reasons why. Oh man, the reasons are so many, but you never, because they say, oh, they're in a different orbit. Nope, you got 30 to 130,000 satellites. All right. And they're at various orbits. Okay. They're not all at the same orbit. Some of them are in the thermosphere, like ISS, which is totally ridiculous. And some of them are at higher altitudes, lower altitudes, yet you never, ever see a satellite. You never see the movie Gravity come to pass, okay? I mean, the movie Gravity was very accurate, okay? Maybe in a minor way because it would have been more than just one satellite, all right? And all that space junk that's supposed to be up there, yet you never, ever see it. Every now and then they say, oh, we got pinged by a piece of like a screw or a nut or something like that, okay? That's ridiculous. They should be getting pelted with machine gun-like fire on a daily basis, okay? Astronaut, there should actually be a death toll of astronauts because the satellites are so many of them, plus the space junk, somebody's gonna get hit, someone's gonna die. Yes, I know it's morbid, but we're talking about space here, okay? Space is a horrible place. So there should be dead bodies, there should be dismemberment, there should be holes in the ISS. We should be hearing horror stories all the time.
I think flat Earth should be a law at this point right now. You know, there's enough of us out there right now, and there's enough of us aware, and we know what's going on, that if you were to make a remark against a flat earther, I think it should be treated as somebody making a remark in a racist tone. Why not? You know? Really, why not?
Yeah, so we unveil a new history, a real history, and it's much richer. It's much better heritage than what they gave us. So yeah, the history they gave us is obviously fake. Yeah, this is Volgograd in Russia. Basically a German photographer, 1898, and it's just, I think it's brilliant mud flood evidence because you've got this great ancient civilization with the most beautiful buildings. You can see they look partly buried from my mind, okay? And as we know, or I've been led to believe through all of this this unfolding, these are atmospheric and resonator devices. But as you notice, you don't get a path coming up to this civilization. You get a muddy great field, and you know, there's your path going up to it. There's the population, awesome. Jewish population is showed there, and they got a faceless knight in a banner, which shows it's all controllers sort of people, and they're under this what they call it is a mausoleum, but it's not. It's an antiquitech device with an onion dome and resonator on top. So this was quite a good one. Obviously an older building because the tech's been taken out, they blocked it up, but it's still active. These are not flagpoles. Don't worry about these wires, guys. These are the telegraph running in front of the image. These back in the image, you can see there's like a little office there, if you like an office, and two giant aerials. Now you can think of them as flagpoles, but you don't have to because the flags, if they were waving, would entangle. So that's not a reality, guys. These are not Harriets. And there's two balls. So this is some sort of Tesla type technology for gathering atmospheric charge. So they were power plants, and I think they just pulled the plug on it. These things here, you can see there's an office with the door open. It's all just one thing. It's all connected to these aerials above it, you see.
What's fascinating about your research is that you're basically showing a history of deceit. So when we start talking about flat Earth and stuff, people think that we're insane, and the authorities will never lie to us at all. You know, they're all we know history and all this. And
we're finding that's not the case now, aren't we? Though, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is why it's so important, the research you're doing, because you're exposing them over time, not just now, but throughout history.
So they seem to be bringing wood in en masse to build, as you can see, wood, right? So everything is like they just arrived. But the old civilization, or what we call Tatarian civilization, is still there. This is perfect for evidence. Now you've got this great civilization. They've had the incentive to build all of this, but they can't put a path leading up to it, or even any drains, because sewerage doesn't exist. Neither does heating. None of these buildings had any hindsight, apparently, to have any heating. Does that mean the climate was warmer, guys? That they didn't need heating at this period? It's so hot. It's Russia, guys. They need umbrellas for the shade. Like, look at that waterfall from an ancient civilization. You know, these people who live here, they didn't build this stuff, guys. You can appreciate that Egypt is famous for pyramids, but what we find is they're all over the world, because this is Volgograd in Russia, and you have a very big, with Greco-Romano architecture, pyramid smack in the middle of its city centre. Now, this is being used in this civilization. This is a step pyramid like you would see in the Mayan Empire or something in Mexico, and they will be one on top of the other, smaller, like Russian dolls. Smaller again, and smaller again. So they're nesting, they have nesting technology in the 1880s to create free energy. Look, they're all mud flood, look, guys. They've been there a while. Lower windows, grass has grown over, and when you want to go up to that Disney castle in the foreground, you have to go up this, this muddy path all the way up to it, which makes zero frigging sense. Not even steps.
When you read the temperature of the moonlight compared to the moon shade, it's going to be roughly 5 to, I've actually heard 15 degrees warmer. 15 degrees difference, and the moon shade is warmer. All right. Also, being a photographer, videographer, I white balance the moon. The moon is actually 4,000 Kelvin. The sun is 5,000, 55,000 Kelvin. The moon's white balance, meaning the color of the moon, the color of the light radiating from the moon, is different than sunlight. Now, here's the interesting part. The moonlight is actually the same color temperature as fluorescent light. That freaked me out. Okay, fluorescent light. The moon is the same color temperature as fluorescent light, which is interesting because the moon tends to have a bluish light, and fluorescent light has the same type of light. That's wild. Okay, folks, we really don't know what's up there. All right, but Yahweh has given us some observing clues of observation, so that we can tell what's up there and glorify Him for it, because it's a phenomenal piece of tech.
You can get away with not doing dental work for a while, but once you get an abscess, you're fucked. And they usually want you to go to the emergency room for that. So if I'm going to try again. If MMS cured your abscess, then good for you.
That's amazing. I mean, that's
They're using that to treat malaria in other countries and without vaccines. So, yeah.
Well, colloidal silver, you know what? We were told about a great homeopathic dentist, a non-invasive dentist in New Mexico. Mm-hmm. So there are non-invasive homeopathic dentists that don't do cavity drilling, and they just keep it there and then they treat it. They actually treat the problem in your tooth. So they clean and they maintain the tooth you have that might have a cavity. So whatever we've been told is like really dark and creepy.